So I've sold everything. I'm not lying here. About a month ago, I logged onto my ISA account on Interactive Brokers and I sold out of every position I had right there and then. Why did I do this, you may ask? Well, I can reassure you that it's not because I've had enough of investing altogether and I want out. Actually, it's the furthest thing away from that. I'm ready to step my investing up to the next level, and in order to do so, I needed to make a pretty big move. So I'm finally moving over to the platform I've wanted for quite a while, which is Trading 212. My patrons have known about this for quite some time, but it's finally time to share it with you guys now as well, because the transfer has finally been completed after what felt like a literal lifetime. So I'm now ready to begin investing again. And trust me, it was so hard not to invest for pretty much an entire month when you're someone like me who thinks about investing all the time and you constantly want to add to your portfolio. So it's really, really challenging. It really taught me about patience and the long-term mindset. By the way, if you guys want to be the first to find out any portfolio moves, anything I'm buying, selling, any strategy changes as they happen, then feel free to sign up to the Patreon. As some of you may or may not know, when you transfer an ISA from one provider into Trading 212, and it's a transfer, so before the new tax year, you have to do it as a cash transfer, meaning you can't do an in-species transfer where you move all of your investments from one platform straight into Trading 212. You have to actually liquidate the positions, sell out of them, and then move the cash over. Honestly, I was a bit apprehensive about this. I really didn't like the idea of selling all of my positions because as someone with a long-term mindset and the power of compound interest, it just didn't sit right with me. But I really knew that this was short-term pain for long-term gain. And it's what I needed to do to be able to have the strategy that I wanted in the future. I can already see some of the comments I'm going to get on this video now saying it's not a good idea to sell and move. And trust me when I say that this was not a decision I made lightly, but it's for the greater good of my own investing future, which, as we all know, I plan to be in this for a very long period of time. So I just decided to take a small hit now whilst my portfolio is pretty small, rather than having to take a bigger hit later on. You're probably wondering why I've decided to move my ISA from Interactive Brokers to Trading 212 when I only actually signed up for Interactive Brokers the last tax year. And there's two reasons here really. The first one is that I always wanted to go to Trading 212, except they didn't have the option of taking on new ISA accounts when I wanted to move. However, that has recently opened up again, so I am able to now move to them, which I have done. But tying into this is all about the commissions and the fee structure that Trading 212 and Interactive Brokers have. I have now got to the point in my investing journey where I'm ready to be a little bit more hands-on with my portfolio and I want to be investing more regularly. For example, even sometimes weekly when I have spare cash, I just want to throw it in the portfolio. This means that I needed somewhere with no fees. Because obviously if I'm dripping money into a portfolio on a regular basis, I don't want to be racking up loads and loads of charges every time I do so. You've only got to take a look at how impactful fees are on your portfolio return to appreciate this. Interactive Brokers had a great ISA in my opinion, and they offered me everything I needed when I needed it. But now, like I've said, I'm looking to invest more frequently. It doesn't really make sense to do that on Interactive Brokers in terms of their fees. It's much more suited to someone that wants to make 1 or 2 investments every single month. Talking about spare cash, let's now jump to Past Me to talk to you about a really cool app that I've been using to help me with this. And this is so exciting because this is the first time I'm doing anything like this on the channel. Plum is a smart money app that can help you save, budget, and invest using automation. You basically link your bank account to it, and then their AI adapts to your income and spending and calculates how much money you can set aside without you really noticing. I just let it do its thing, and since I started the account in February, this is how much I've actually managed to set aside, and I plan to use this amount of money to invest into myself. I'll leave a link in the description below if you do want to try Plum. This is an affiliate link, so I will get a commission if you do decide to use it. If you're watching this before the 28th of March, Plum are also running a competition to give someone the chance of winning £250 if they sign up to a Stocks and Shares ISA using the link in the description. Back to the video. I'll be talking about Interactive Brokers and all the other platforms that offer ISAs in a comparison video that I'm going to release very, very soon, definitely before the new tax year, to try and help any of you guys out there that are opening an ISA for the first time, or perhaps are looking to move and you're just confused about the options. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss that. Instead of viewing this situation as a negative one in terms of having to sell everything that I had in my portfolio, I'm instead trying to take a positive approach to this and use it as a time to step back and realign my portfolio, making sure that everything I have inside of my portfolio is what I want moving forward. A bit of a deep cleanse, if you will. At the same time as doing this, I've been taking the time to sort out all the random investments that I have scattered over different accounts. For example, some positions that I had on Free Trade and Invest Engine, I'm selling out of them in order to have everything in one nice, concise place. If you've followed this channel for a while, you'll also know about the first ISA I ever opened with Vanguard. Now I'm still leaving that as it is. Obviously I won't be adding any more money to it because of the ISA rules in a given tax year, but I'm also not withdrawing that money or shutting that down. I'm just gonna view that as like a leave it alone, let it do its thing. I'll return to it every now and again and make infrequent updates on how it's doing on this channel. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. Right, so my investment portfolio moving forward, what is it going to look like? I'm not just going to be putting my money back into the same stocks as I had before in the same equal amounts as I held before. Like I said, I'm using this as an opportunity to re-evaluate my portfolio and to actually have a look at where I want my money to be. And I want that money to be in places where I have particularly strong conviction, regardless of all the noise surrounding particular ETFs and particular stocks and different assets that I could own. And trust me, there is a lot of noise in my comments section about different assets and about different stocks sometimes. For a very broad overview as to where I see my portfolio going from now on, I will hold crypto, ETFs, and individual stocks. The individual stocks will be made up of both dividend paying stocks and non-dividend paying stocks that are potentially more of those high growth stocks. So there's nothing too new there. It sounds quite similar to the portfolio that I've had before, but I am going to be streamlining my positions. And this comes as part of a larger idea where I've been doing lots of research and lots of thinking on this whole idea of conviction versus diversification. And I've got a really interesting, perhaps slightly controversial video coming up about this topic soon. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this. I currently hold 2 cryptocurrencies and this won't be changing. My plan is to just add to these positions as and when it makes sense to do so. To be honest, I don't really regularly add to these positions, and when I do, it tends to be a large lump sum in one go, and that tends to be pretty random. In terms of ETFs, right now in my Vanguard ISA, I have the FTSE Global All Cap and I have VUSA. If I'm honest, I'm not really too sure. I haven't made the final decision on which ETFs, how many ETFs, what percentage of ETFs I want in my trading 212 account. But I will be leaving the Vanguard ones alone, so I'll always have exposure to those. Having said that, I will be filming an absolutely epic Invest With Me video very, very soon, where I literally invest thousands and thousands of pounds, all of the money that I had on my previous platform and potentially a little bit more, into making this portfolio. So I'm so excited, and obviously by that point, I will have made these final decisions, so watch out for that. I've also been speaking about this and just my moves in general to the members on the Discord. Obviously, you should always make your own investment decisions, and I absolutely do, but sometimes it's quite nice to hear other people's opinions and other people's strategies, and then obviously make your own decisions based on that and what you found out. Now, dividend stocks. If you've been following my videos for a while now, you'll know that I have an interest in dividend investing. I find it super motivating and I really like the theory and the strategy behind this type of investing. And I've invested in dividend paying ETFs and UK individual stocks that pay a dividend. I've now obviously sold all of my dividend paying individual stocks, as you will know by this point in the video, so I'm kind of back to square one with this. I do intend to continue to invest in dividend paying stocks, but I won't be mirroring those exactly that I had on my Interactive Brokers account. Like I said, I'm using this as a way to reevaluate where I want my money. Also, I am eager to add some US and some Canadian dividend paying stocks as well to my portfolio. So that will be a really fun addition. And lastly, non-dividend paying individual stocks. I don't discriminate on this channel. I've always said that although I have a strong interest in the dividend investing growth strategy, I don't only want those type of stocks in my portfolio. The first and foremost thing that I think about is where is my money best spent? If that happens to be a company that pay a dividend, then great. If it happens to be a growth stock that probably are never going to pay a dividend, then that's great. If it happens to be an ETF that does or doesn't pay a dividend, again, I don't care. I just want the positions in my portfolio that make sense to be there, whether or not they pay a dividend. We all know by now that I am a fan of Tesla stock. This one is one that people either really have strong conviction for or they think is a load of rubbish and they really don't want it in their portfolio, and that's absolutely fine. But moving forward, I'll be having a larger position of Tesla stock within my Trading 212 account. That's my broad plan. I haven't gone into details on the percentages of different asset classes that I'm going to own and the individual stocks and ETFs I'm going to have in my portfolio, because like I said, in the next few days, I'm going to film an absolutely epic Invest With Me video where I put thousands and thousands of pounds making my new portfolio. So I really, really hope you enjoy that one. If you want to be the first to find out exactly where I'm putting my money for this move and any future moves, then consider becoming a Patreon, as I'll be sharing it with those guys first. Thank you so much for watching. I am super, super excited to see where my portfolio goes next and sharing it with all you guys. Let me know if you've moved ISAs or you are planning to, or you've just made any interesting moves in your own portfolio recently. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.